What do you do?
Okay, so in a nutshell, what I do is I equip and educate people to use food to reverse disease. So what I do is I will literally sit down with you. I'll start off by examining what you're currently eating. We always start off with where you are, so that the diet does not become unattainable for you. So I start off with what you're eating, and to do that I use what are called food diaries. It's simply a list of everything that you ate and drank for the day. Then I look through that. When I start looking through your eating habits, not only just what you eat, how much you eat, but also when you eat, that all comes into play with it. Then I start to add. I always add before subtracting, because your body will naturally start subtracting. Because after 3 weeks of eating a natural diet, your taste buds actually get reset to almost those of a baby. So what happens is if then you try to eat something that you used to eat, a very good example is sugar. If we start adding fats, natural proteins, natural carbohydrates, fiber-rich foods, water, even different types of drinks like natural drinks, what happens is that your body will start to reset, your taste buds will start to reset. Then when you try to eat something that contains sugar, it won't even taste good. So you end up not even caring for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned natural foods. What are these?
Okay. The way I like to explain is that anything that doesn't come out of a box, a bag, or has a barcode. So anything that you would find growing in nature, either underground or on a tree, or if it's an animal, something that walked before it ended up on your plate dead. So that's a natural food, something that was created that way. That it hasn't been changed in any way, it hasn't been processed in any way. So an example would be an orange versus orange juice.
Okay. So we're not even getting to you don't even want processed foods, do you? Because there's natural, I think, then processed, then super processed.
Yes,
So,
ultra processed.
Ultra processed. So where are we on this?
In the spectrum.
Yeah.
We want to eat natural foods first. Those foods that in their natural state, like the example that I started to use, an orange is the natural form, and orange juice is the processed form of the orange. Now in that there's a spectrum, because you have the orange where you can peel it and eat it as a fruit, or you can just manually express the juice, squeeze out the juice, and you have the juice of the orange. That's okay. Then we start getting into the process where it's now heated so that it can last longer. And then we go on further where they now add additives so that it lasts even longer. So along that spectrum, you want to go for that orange in its natural form.
Okay. What's the problem with additives and making it last longer?
Okay. The problem with that is when you look at an orange, it's not just the orange tasting stuff. It also has other things in there. It has vitamins, it has enzymes. Enzymes are what break down that food when you eat it and it goes into your stomach. Before it can be digested, it has to be broken down into its bits and pieces. So enzymes have that job. The thing with enzymes is they're sensitive to temperature. So in that example, when we heat it, you're killing the enzymes. So that means your body can no longer process or absorb that orange to use it, which is what we want to do.
Okay. It looks like, or it seems you've got this like more understanding about how our bodies work.
Yes.
Food and our bodies. Can you just give us a bit of that? How does our body take up food and nutrients, and why is it important to what we eat vis-a-vis how the body works in that?
Okay, that's an excellent question, because my background is actually in biology, so that was my primary degree. So I did a lot of human anatomy. When you eat, let's take the orange, let's just stick to the orange. When you eat the orange, you peel it, you put it in your mouth, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to chew it, right? We're really supposed to chew it for until it becomes liquid, but most of us don't. But let's just say you do it the proper way. So the first step is the mechanical action of chewing the food so that it's reduced to a liquid. Once it's reduced to a liquid, then what we need to do, there are enzymes already in your mouth, in your saliva, called amylase. I'm not going to get into it, but the enzymes in your saliva, they actually start to work on parts of that liquid, or that liquid orange. The next step is then you swallow it, it goes down your esophagus, and then it goes into your stomach. In your stomach, you've got hydrochloric acid. It gets broken down even further. That's when fiber gets broken down, because that orange has fiber. In particular, oranges have a very useful fiber called pectin. So there are two different types of fiber, but oranges have pectin. So now it's in your stomach. Your stomach also has a mechanical action where it actually, it's like a ball of muscle. So it's almost like a washing machine. It turns everything around and further processes it. And then it mixes with the hydrochloric acid and some more enzymes in your stomach. After that, it goes into your small intestines, into your large intestines, and then into your small intestines. That's when we start to get absorption of the nutrients. So at that point, that orange should not even resemble what you know, but it should be broken down into its basic form. You're going to have some glucose, which is the simplest form of sugar. You're going to have some fiber in there. And so the purpose of the body is to break the food down to its simplest components so that it's small enough to be absorbed into your blood. Now, once it's absorbed into your blood, depending on your nutrient and caloric needs, then your body redistributes those nutrients wherever they need to go, because your body always knows what it needs at any particular time. Oranges have vitamin C. We cannot store vitamin C in our body, so we should really take it in every day. So your body will know, okay, yesterday this person had a deficiency of however many grams of vitamin C, and this part of the body needs that, so it goes there directly.
Okay.
It's taken around by your blood.
Okay. So it brings me back to that question. What's the problem with the unnatural? What happens to my body when...
Okay, so let's take that same example. Now, instead of taking the orange, you're taking in orange juice. And remember I told you, in order for them to make it last longer, they've put additives. And then they've also heated it, right? So number one, when you heat it, you've destroyed the enzymes. So that means...
Enzymes in the orange? In
the orange. So that means those enzymes that were helping to break down the juice into its simplest form are now absent. Secondly, when processing happens, a lot of the fiber is removed. When you remove fiber from a food, remember when we go down into your stomach and we get to the point where it's supposed to be absorbed into your blood, if that food or glucose, let me be specific, if glucose is absorbed into your food too fast, because it has to be done very slowly, if it's absorbed too fast, what happens is that your body releases a hormone called insulin to take too much out of your blood, redirect it either to your muscles or your liver or your fat cells, depending on your energy requirements. So when a food is processed, certain of those natural things that are needed for your body to properly use that food are removed. When your insulin goes up too fast, that's when we start getting into things like diabetes. Or actually, they're starting to find out that high insulin levels are the basis of most of the lifestyle diseases, like heart disease and kidney disease and heart disease. So yeah, your body now cannot process food in a way that is balanced to keep health.
Okay.
It ends up causing disease.